not a fan.
No, nobody's a fan. But we have our vaccinations.
We do, and we are back at it, and we are so excited to be back in the kitchen.
Yes, and
so excited.
We wanted to just have a little conversation about just kind of what's been going on.
Yeah.
And this is just a little taste of what you can find over at patreon.com/recipearchaeology. We revamped our Patreon offerings.
Yes.
It's additional bonus content that you get over on Patreon.
So every month you'll get 2 bonus content footages of whether it's just us talking about our favorite kitchen gadgets, our favorite recipes that we're making right now,
favorite
cookbooks or other things. It could just be anything we're really wanting to talk about.
And we're also going to do a monthly Q&A with just our Patreon supporters.
So if you're a Patreon supporter and you would like to ask us questions, and we will answer any question that you have. Right. But any questions that you have, like if we know the answers, we want to tell you guys those things.
Yeah.
And so every month we will be doing that Q&A with you guys, as well as telling you what our favorite things are. Everything will be linked to, so if you really want to, if you see something that you like or that you really want to like get in your life too.
Or if we talk about a recipe, we'll link to that recipe.
Absolutely, and you will get all of those recipes first before anybody else, and no one else will have access to any of that stuff.
Just only our Patreon supporters.
Just our Patreon supporters.
So let's get to it. What have you made recently? And it doesn't...
Okay.
We're not going to stick with retro, just whatever.
Whatever we're like making and we're loving and all that
that's just something that you're loving that you've made recently. What have you made?
So recently I went to a gathering because now we can. Hallelujah. And I was like, I want to bring a dessert, but I want it to be something that we can eat like after dinner that's not too heavy, that's not anything else like this. Okay. And there's this chef in New York City. Her name is Allison Roman. She is fantastic. She has a web series. You can also follow her on Patreon for all other things and whatnot.
Okay.
But she is an incredible chef. She used to work for the New York Times and Bon Appetit and all these other things.
She's
anyway,
professional and like us.
She's good at what she does, right?
She's bona fide.
But she loves home cooking, and that's what she's more passionate about and everything else. So this was a skillet strawberry shortcake. So
I love strawberry shortcake.
She's all about super simple, super easy things that you can just throw together with a bunch of other stuff. She loves herbs and spices and all those other things. So this is a super versatile like thing. You can really do it with any berry that you want or that you have, and so it's a super like a berry season, right?
Sure.
I had a whole like big thing full of them from Sam's.
Yes.
So I hauled all the strawberries. You put the strawberries in the bottom. And then you make these shortcakes to go on top of it.
Okay.
So it all bakes at once.
So was it like a biscuit shortcake as opposed to like a sponge?
It is. And the biscuit shortcake, the reason why I think this is just so like just yummy and wonderful. It's a cream biscuit, but instead of it just being regular flour, it's flour and cornmeal.
Oh.
Not equal parts. I don't remember.
Just a little bit of cornmeal to give it that little kind of grainy feel.
It's got a nutty kind of crunch to it.
Okay.
Not polenta. You're not going to use polenta in this or anything like that. It's just cornmeal.
Okay.
Like normal that you would make cornbread with. And that goes into the mix, and you just do all of that and then stick it on top, and it
gets nice and brown and so bubbly.
Exactly. So you're not macerating the strawberries beforehand. All of this can be thrown together in 2 hot seconds.
Yes.
And you throw it in the oven until it gets all bubbly. And I put demerara sugar on top of the biscuits, so we're on top. And I tell you what, it smelled awesome. And what I did, here's a trick.
What?
If you're going to somebody's house and you have to transport this, right?
I know what you're gonna say.
What do you think?
You brought it raw.
I did.
And then you cooked it in their oven.
I did.
So like then they're just like, you bring it out and angels sing and your friends are like, oh my God, you're amazing.
Exactly.
And you're like, yes I am. And you're thinking, this was so easy.
Yeah, because you don't, and desserts like that are so great for like, it was a cookout, we were having ribs
that's
and
a great,
it's a great thing to have, but also it's super impressive, and I did it all in my cast iron skillet.
Yes. Yes. Did you serve it like with heavy cream, or did you serve?
I whipped up cream. I just did a whipped cream, and I didn't sweeten the whipped cream.
Okay.
Because the strawberries were so sweet, and there was sweetness in the dough, and I had the demerara sugar on top.
Yeah.
I just whipped up the cream, and that was Allison Roman's like tip. Was like, actually, she put a little salt in there, which I think is interesting.
Interesting.
It's the same kind of thing of like put salt on your watermelon.
Sure.
I thought I did not do that. I just whipped up cream. And voila,
delish.
It was done. It was simple. It was so effective.
That sounds good.
Everybody was like,
"You're amazing.
What is this magic?"
Yes.
And so I say, Allison Roman's strawberry shortcake.
Was that on her website, or do you have to be a Patreon subscriber?
She is on YouTube, and that is
we'll link to that recipe down below.
Every week she has another. Yeah, every week she has another one.
Okay.
And this was one of hers from the weekend. I tell you, it was fantastic. Super easy to put together. Simple, yummy. I'm going to make it again for 4th of July.
No.
It's going to be yummy. It's yummy. So I highly support it. What are you making now? What have you made?
Okay, so the other day, I love to make risotto in the Instapot because it's so fat. It's just like a fraction of the time, right? And so the other day, I just Googled Instapot risotto, and I do a basic, if I'm in a hurry, I'll just do a basic recipe.
Yep.
So normally, so they want you to do like a lot of butter with your onions and garlic in your Instapot in the saute setting, and so I get those onions nice and translucent.
Yep.
And then you put your arborio
rice.
Thank you, arborio rice in there and mix it up. And
kind of toast it a little.
Yes.
Right.
And then normally what I do is on the recipe they want you to do like a cup of broth to get it going, and then you do all the broth. Normally what I do is I do some white wine.
Oh, absolutely.
This time, instead of the white wine, I just took out the white wine because I did white wine about a week ago, and I was like, I feel like I did a little too much white wine, to be honest with you.
I don't think that's possible.
And so this time I was like, I'm going to change it up. And so I did a 1/4 cup, that's all, of brandy. It was so I did a 1/4 cup of brandy in the onions and rice, and just while it was on the saute mode, and just really got that, it kind of deglazes the pan.
Ooh.
And then I finished off with a whole is it 32 ounces of
all the chicken broth.
The chicken broth in a box, put the whole box in, put it lid on. I think it was 6 minutes. 6 minutes on manual, and then I think I did a 10-minute natural release. And then when that was, I took the lid off, and then I had freshly grated some Parmesan. Yeah. A whole cup.
Of course.
Of freshly grated Parmesan, some salt and pepper to taste. It was so, I'm never making it another way. It was so good.
You could use any kind of fortified kind of wine like that, though. Yeah. What if you wanted to use Marsala?
Right. Yeah.
That would be good, too.
It was so... I think you could do sherry.
Oh, definitely sherry. And I like sherry.
But do a good sherry and not like the gross cooking sherry.
Oh, no.
But please. No, try this. If you just and all...
Same
what I'll do
with
is...
Marsala.
Yes.
Don't use the stuff that you can...
I'll link down below the Instapot recipe that I used. And if you just add... a 1/4 cup of brandy.
That's it. Just a 1/4 cup. It's not a lot.
No, and it just added this level of flavor that was so. I'm
umami.
That's how I'm doing it from now on. I'm not making it another way.
And now everyone else that had it was like, yes.
Well, it was just for the family.
Could they tell?
I don't know if they could tell. It was just for the family. And I was like, Adam, what'd you think of the risotto? He was like, yeah, it was good. And I'm like, it was delicious.
It was delicious.
I mean, I think they liked it. I just, I think they just eat what I put in front of them. I have to admit, they've become good eaters. Obviously,
right.
Adam's an adult, so he eats, like an adult. But the kids have become good eaters, so they just eat what I put in front of them. So, they're not going to be like, Mother, this risotto is especially delicious tonight.
I love the piquant flavor of
there's a subtle hint of something different you've done
to
the
11.
risotto.
Harry's
right,
11.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if you need a risotto for a maybe you're having a little dinner party. It was so delicious. delicious. So that's what I'm making, and that's
I love that.
So we will link to both those recipes below.
Oh, yes.
And so if you guys have enjoyed this little fun conversation, head on over to patreon.com/recipearchaeology. We'll link down below.
Just for $5 a month.
And we're going to be doing this twice a month.
Twice a month to start out, hopefully, as we get more Patreon and more better, more. Better as we get back to what we love,
and as we get more Patreon supporters, then we can do more of these if you guys like it.
So we're really excited to
be
the
Q&A.
Yes,
and the Q&A
and all the things. So make both those recipes if you have time or if you want to. They're amazing. We'll link them below. And cheers, everyone. Cheers.